Special bollards to protect New Year's Eve partygoers in Adelaide CBD. This is a sign of the times, people. Temporary barriers at the CBD and at Glenelg will be set up to stop possible vehicle terrorist attacks at Adelaide's busiest New Year's Eve party spots this weekend. Temporary barriers in the CBD and at Glenelg will be set up to stop possible vehicle terrorist attacks at Adelaide's busiest New Year's Eve party spots this weekend. And with thousands expected to welcome in 2018 at the beach and at Elder Park at the River Torrens, police have boasted their powers by declaring the hotspots public precincts. This is how they take your rights away, people. This means that from 6 p.m. Sunday until 6 a.m. New Year's Eve day, police in the special zones will be able to perform random metal detector searches, ban partygoers from the area between certain hours, move troublemakers on without warning, and hand out hefty fines of up to $1,250. They're using the terrorists as a way of bringing in martial law. Does anybody not see this already? They will also have authority to remove children if they deem to be at risk. More drug sniffer dogs will also walk the streets. Next we'll be doing the Sick Hell and going on about Chancellor, insert name here. At Glenelg, Pierce Street, Chapel Drive, Anzac Highway, Burton Road and the low tide of the Gulf of Vincent will fall under the public precincts blanket. In the CBD, the zone will be extended from Henderley Street to cover Kingston Avenue, Victoria Drive, King Willem Drive, War Memorial Drive, Mount Ford Road and Northern Terrace. The city's most notorious party strip, Hinkley Street, has been operating as a public precinct since the start of November. Police Assistant Commissioner Linda Fellows said the maximum resources have been allocated to keep celebrations safe. However, she would not comment on the specifics of bollards for safety reasons. Why else would they put the bollards there? Like, this is supposed to be a religion of peace. This is what they keep saying. He's not a terrorist. He's just mentally ill. So how many of them are mentally ill? How many people have to die before we stop trying to bullshit each other and go on about this religion being the fucking religion of peace? The worldwide events of this year have certainly shaped our focus on what we needed to plan for this year, she said. We've got big crowds. Part of our planning has been about restricting access of vehicles into those areas. Why are you restricting access for vehicles? What are you worried about? The focus is to make sure people are able to go out and celebrate New Year's Eve and have a good time but remain safe. Why wouldn't they be safe? Please enlighten us. In years gone by, the New Year's Eve was a different sort of event. Now it's about public safety. Why is it now all of a sudden about public safety? I wonder what's different. On Boxing Day in Sydney, semi-trailers were used in the CBD to protect large crowds as they shopped. It is possible similar tactics will be used in New Year's Eve. But despite beefed up measures, police say there is no evidence to suggest a terror attack. Police Minister Chris Pridgeon urged people to look after friends and family while partying Sunday. We know that just one punch can kill, and I urge everyone to avoid becoming involved in violent confrontations, he said. And wherever you do, don't get behind the wheel of a car when you're under the influence. Take advantage of free public transport. Do not put your own or other lives at risk. Yesterday, a Victorian woman was killed in a car crash at Colomb, about 160 kilometres southeast of Adelaide. The state's road toll is currently at 99 compared to 84 the same time last year. And you're probably wondering, well, hey, that's South Australia. That's not so bad. Bollards, barricades and assault rifles. New Year's Eve security measures are here to stay. Anyway, let's keep going with this shit. The unprecedented and confronting security measures spotted during the Boxing Day sale frenzies will be soon the norm in Sydney CBD. Is anyone else having a problem with this? Let's not import them into the country in the first place. Thousands of shoppers in the city on Tuesday found entrances to Pitt Street Mall, George Street and Elizabeth Street blocked off. Why were they blocked off? Oh, wait, hang on. Maybe a truck was parked in there so people couldn't go, Allah Akbar! And 7 News understands that heightened security was a preventative measure especially to deter copycat attacks after the 18 pedestrians were mowed down on Flinders Street in Melbourne last week. Are you finally admitting it was terrorism? Because that's what it sounds like there. And now been revealed that the enormous semi-trailers and boulevards weren't just a once-off. On New Year's Eve, Sydney-siders can expect to see heavily armed police officers and more barricades than ever before. Oh goody! Lucky for diversity! Cranes were brought in on Wednesday to remove the barricades, but Counter-Terrorism Minister David Elliott said the unfortunate reality is they will soon be seen on a regular basis. We're living in a police state, people. Wake up. We don't like it. I don't think anybody likes seeing trucks being used as barricades. Then stop importing mass migration or people from certain countries. But what we've seen on Boxing Day is the reality of what we need to prepare for, Mr. Elliott told 7 News. This is getting ridiculous. It's not there to take away from the celebration. It's there because we want to make sure people in New South Wales are safe. Safe from what? Concrete spheres already line Martin Place and will soon spread to Elizabeth Street. Authorities face their next test this weekend when 1 million people will get around Sydney Harbour for New Year's Eve. While police aren't keen on revealing their exact plans, probably a smart idea, they admit there'll be more barriers up than ever before. Victorian Premier also ensured there will be an increased police presence at major New Year's Eve events in Melbourne. If you see something that you don't think is right, speak to one of the many members of Victorian Police. They'll be out and about over this really busy period, Premier Daniel Andrews told reporters. Now, at the end of the day, not everybody can afford these security measures. For example, church overlooking Sydney Harbour forced to cancel their popular New Year's Eve fireworks party over terror fears because they can't afford the $10,000 bill for security and bollards to stop an attack. Even churches aren't safe. An Anglican church with a view of Sydney Harbour Bridge has been forced to cancel the annual New Year's Eve street party over terrorist attack fears. St Aidan's at Longview, might be mispronouncing, on the lower North Shore had hired bands and put on an annual family-friendly sausage sizzle on the last day of every year since 1999. Well, at least we're not having to change our traditions or anything, right? The event grew bigger every year to the point of 4,000 people would crowd shoulder to shoulder along a 100-metre slope of Christina Street as a singer performed on the grass outside the church. Families from across Sydney and out of the Blue Mountains would travel to get to the best vantage points for the 9 p.m. to midnight fireworks, as nearby wealthy residents hosted their friends in an $8 million waterfront mansion overlooking the Lake Cove River. Spectators young and old would gather, eating sausages and listening to live music as they enjoyed panoramic views of the harbour, Anzac Bridge, as 5 simultaneous fireworks displayed coloured the night sky. Elderly church volunteers in fluoro vests would stand in front of the makeshift plastic road barriers, directing traffic away from crowds. The mowing down of pedestrians in Melbourne's Bourke Street Mall in January, which killed 6 people and injured 30 others, has changed the way people can enjoy traditional Sydney Harbour fireworks extravaganza. In early December, 3 weeks before a car again ploughed into pedestrians in downtown Melbourne, injuring 20 people, St Aidan's announced it would have to cancel its traditional New Year's Eve outdoor party. For the first time in 19 years, there won't be a festival spilling out from the church lawns on the street. The church's rector, Reverend Craig Potter, said the new state laws requiring community groups to hire professional security guards and put up a concrete or water-filled bollard meant this congregation couldn't afford a $10,000 bill to ward off potential terrorist attacks. We just couldn't do it, he told the Daily Mail Australia on Thursday afternoon. There is no way we would have found the traffic management company to put it all together. Mr. Potter, an ordnance minister since 1992, said the church had no choice but cancel its New Year's Eve street party so it wouldn't be held liable for actions of terrorist maniacs. Thank God someone is actually using the word. Families this year won't be able to sit on a picnic blanket and hear live performance of popular songs after a police intelligence briefing suggested the risk to safety was high. Mr. Potter, a former soldier who has previously served as Australian Defence Force chaplain in Afghanistan, said it was evil how Islamic extremists had robbed people of their New Year's Eve joy. One of the joys of multiculturalism is that we come from different worldviews and live together. How's that working out for you? For some, that seems to be an undoable sort of thing, that unreasonable thing, he said. And they try and change the undergrinding of our society, which is a shame. It's not a shame. It's pathetic. It's more than a shame. It's just evil, actually. Well, yeah, I'll agree with that part. Mick Bates, a church parishioner since 1968 who held St. Innocent Ministry Events Committee, said the church didn't like the idea of charging spectators a cover charge to pay for the cost of high security. However, he said the public was welcome to watch the fireworks on the church lawn minus the entertainment, as St. Ed's hosts a private party for its congregation. We're not going to stop them coming onto the property to have a picnic, Mr. Bates said. They are welcome to do that. We just won't run a festival. We're going to open the toilet. Nurses from Longview, might be mispronouncing, private hospital a block away are upset their patients in wheelchairs won't be able to enjoy New Year's Eve street party this year. That's not very nice, Nurse Anne Chandra said, might be mispronouncing. Pater Leakin, who was visiting a loved one in the hospital, described the street party cancellation as a great pity. A nearby resident who declined to be named said the cancellation of the annual church street party was a victory for the terrorists. Thank God there's someone still with balls. It's really disappointing, he said. It's almost as if the terrorists win. No, it's like they are winning. Because of friggin' government. A woman who has lived in nearby street for 40 years with her husband said it was sad. Oh, it's sad. It's a pity. Oh, come on, guys. For God's sake. It was a nice family thing. The world we live in has changed. It's a little bit sad that it's come to that. She said, I don't like to stop living, but we'll have to. Okay. Kind of sounds a little weird. Sounds like you want suicide. Mr. Potter said the corporate sponsorship or crowdfunding was the only way the 117-year-old St. Albans Church could revive in 2018 its annual street party, which started at the end of 20th century. I'm going to try and get in contact with the church to arrange something like that. But don't worry, Brisbane and Perth are no different. Within Brisbane, barriers and road closures are expected to be set up to prevent vehicle-style attacks, while security also conducting bag checks in certain areas. Similar measures will also be implemented in Perth. So basically, what's the takeaway from all this? While the government keeps importing mass migration and immigrants from third world countries, they are then going through and beefing up security. But I thought it's a religion of peace. But here's an idea. Why don't we just not invite them into the country in the first place? I know, I can figure that out, and I'm not even a politician. Makes you wonder how dumb some of them are. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Does this stop you from wanting to go to these style events? Or do you think we should just deport all the Muslims that want to do terrorist attacks? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. If this video has been helpful, please smack a like. Also, if you found the video helpful, please give it a share, because I tell you now, Google and YouTube won't be advertising this video. And apart from that, guys, I'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great day and enjoy.